Training Video, Part 1. Today, we will begin with inflation. It's a good idea before inflating the blimp to lay out all the components of the system. For our purposes today, that includes the Alta Extended Watch Over Ground Station, the camera or payload that you will be using, the envelope case, and the inflation kit, which should have a fill hose and may also include specific tools for your deployment. Our inflation kit contains a pair of work gloves and an adjustable wrench, which are strongly recommended. When it is possible, unfold the blimp and lay it out on a flat, protected surface, like a tarp, to make sure there are no major tears in the envelope. Remove the covering for the payload connectors and connector rails. These should be covered again at the end of deployment. Next, tail assembly simply requires connecting the tail rods to the hub in the center of the tail. It's always a good idea to make sure the blimp is anchored as inflation begins. This can be achieved with a simple carabiner connecting the front blimp strap to the ground station or some other anchoring device. Pro tip: use a wrench to lightly tap the metal cap of your lift gas tank to make unscrewing it counterclockwise easier. When connecting the fill hose to the gas tank, turn counterclockwise. Use a wrench to turn counterclockwise, tightening the connection. Insert the nozzle of the fill hose into the fill valve. And turn the regulator on the tank clockwise to release gas slowly at first, then releasing greater pressure as needed. While the front end may be anchored during inflation, it's a good idea to have another team member on hand for possible unforeseen events. The recommended amount of gas for inflation of a 12-foot blimp is 120 cubic feet, but this can vary greatly since the volume of gas in the tank is never exact. To be sure your blimp is inflated fully, check the inflation straps at the top and bottom of the blimp. When they are taut, your blimp is ready. Next, disconnect the fill hose and reseal the fill valve. While the blimp is anchored or held by a team member, it's time to attach the payload. There will be a separate tutorial on preparing and attaching your payload, since these can vary across our product line. Whether using one of our ground stations or a manually tethered device, it's time to verify remote control functionality for your payload one last time. When communication between payload and controlling devices is established, you may slowly release your blimp to your desired altitude. Enjoy your adventure in the sky. Onward and upward.